Okay, I think I'm ready. I had to clear my desk and that took quite some time, like an hour. And then I realized I had 12 days of no journaling. Okay, so this is about my December daily for 2025. So it was current. My whole idea was to make the spreads and then put in the photos. And I got up to 12 days, I think so, maybe 14 days. And then the rest, I printed the pictures and then made the layouts. Okay, let me talk about this album. This was actually a Becky Higgins wedding album that I had bought. It was part of me coming back to scrapbooking, so that's why it is worn. It does not look new because it isn't new. But it's held up really, really well through so many moves and handling it so much. I need to put something here. And I completely did a 12 by 12 wedding. I didn't do a flip through. I didn't do a flip through of that, because that's what I was working on 2 years ago, I think. Anyway, I used a 6 by 8, just reused it, and I glued this on my front cover. I usually don't do much bulk, just because the way my albums are stored, but hopefully we are in our own house this year, and so that way I could display it kind of like in a boutique like way. This ribbon I've had from Hobby Lobby. This one I bought at Michael's. This, I've had this trim, I think Janet gave it to me in Happy Mail, I want to say, so glad to use that up. These alphas, because Simple Stories does not come with alphas, and so these are roller rink. I've had these for a very long time. I think I'm running out of words to make with these because I'm running out of vowels. When did I buy these? 2012. I did want to hand stitch this, I just didn't have the time. That is some December daily prep that I need to write down for the next time. So I'm gonna do DD prep. Any hand stitching, so I could know, because I'm always like, in November I'm already kind of overdoing fall layouts because I've probably been doing them since September. I kind of want to start prepping already for December daily, but then I'm very much like, I need to see the photos first, and that's why with this one I wanted to do half and half to see if it would go well doing the layout first before I actually get the photo, and it did. Now I know I can prep. Before I do the flip through, I know we want to get to it. This is what I have left. I used quite a bit of the enamel dots. I separated all the bits into categories. Any 4x6 and 3x4 cards that I made, the decorative brads, which I love. I like the really small ones, the solid colored ones, and then the big bits. I try to use these up as much as I can. This is all I have left from the paper pad, but I also did an online retreat, so I used up the sticker sheet pretty good, I think, especially the small words. And then this is all I have from the 12 by 12 papers. All this is scrap, and that's it. So pretty good. I think I shall combine it with Paige Evans, because I used 2 kits for my December daily. It was the Simple Stories Hard Candy Christmas and the Paige Evans Sugar Plum Wishes. They go really, really well together. Pinks and blues and the greens. Paige has more purple, but it still goes. I absolutely love these foam letter stickers. I love how small they are. I love the colors. I kind of want to get more because I know I'll use them. And then of course, Paige, the 6 by 8. I still have a bit of this left. I only use this if I didn't find a Simple Stories one to use, paper to use. I didn't use any of the sequins, and then I didn't use any of the sweaters either. The ones that are missing is because I let my daughter have at it. So anyway, those are the 2 collections I used. I said in my Instagram stories, I'm gonna have to put elastic over it. So yeah, pretty chunky, but that's all right. So when you open it, okay, when you open it, I have this piece by Paige Evans. Just put our initials there. And then I have my reason why. I used this tag from Simple Stories. I added some glossy accents to just make it shine a little bit. And then some gold foiling. I used a border punch for it not to be so blocky, you know, just break it up with some decorative. Ran it through my typewriter, and there you go. Then on this side, this is where I was trying to play with tags, but I think for next time I would probably make the tags stand up and punch it that way. I always want to do this. I always want to take a photo, even if I'm not going to use it on a Christmas card. We can do Christmas cards this year, but usually we take photos for Christmas cards, and so we almost went the season without taking a portrait like this. So right before we stepped out to church, we just got in a shady area and took a photo, and I'm so glad we did. This photo corners I got from Craftillier. I absolutely love this. Heidi Swap just converted me to using photo corners, and I just think it elevates a single photo layout so much. Okay, and then I thought it was fun to put our ages. I did this one year and I really liked it, and I tried to do some stamping. So I stamped a label from a Heidi Swap. I think this is like a planner stamp. And then I used an alpha from Hobby. You could get a Hobby Lobby, but it is from Momenta. I just thought the font went well with the Simple Stories Hard Candy Christmas. This stamp I've had for forever. This bow one. I don't even remember where I got that from. It was one of my first stamps. And then I just put the ages there. And then in the back, I journaled about our wish list. Story number 1. Most of the time, the days are on point. And for those that aren't, I just fill it in with stories that happen either on the same day, but you would never know. So really, I say stories. Story number 1, we got a pencil tree because we are very limited in space in the house we are renting right now, and it was so overwhelming to me to have a normal tree. So on Black Friday we bought a pencil tree, and the girls decorated it. And here is a flip out, and there's the girls with my hubby decorating, and then I was doing the rest of the decorations. And this year it was my oldest daughter to put the star on the tree, and I have a picture of this since they were little, so I love to see that. And I did not fuse this because it's paper. It's not in a sleeve. I just put washi tape and make sure it was glued on very well. Story number 2 was the Chosen mug. You see, I bought this mug in November, but it is story number 2. So the Chosen mug of this year, and I write about this one. It's absolutely beautiful. And then I wrote about a glass from Spode that I found at a estate sale, and I think the whole set was $12 for the whole set. It was a really good deal. Story number 3, right after school, we went, I might have to reinforce that. We went to fly out, so we drove straight to the airport. And we flew out to Texas. Sometimes I have to double those reinforcers. So I journaled about that. Here's some Paige Evans right there. Little birdie there. This is from Hobby Lobby. These I've had forever, and I'm trying to use them up. I got these at Joann's in their dollar bin. Oh, if you're wondering about the numbers are from Pretty Little Studio. Even though they're very big, it was tricky sometimes, but not for the most part. I like the consistency of those numbers. We went to Texas early in December because me and my husband led a missions trip in Rio Bravo, Mexico. And so we are full-time in ministry. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. I know I've mentioned that I'm a pastor's kid, like my family has been in ministry, is in ministry. But as far as me and my husband, we are full-time ministry. And so these are the stories. And so Rio Bravo, it is a dangerous city, and my husband and I, we take a team that we're so grateful for that they're willing to go, and we just go and pray for the lost and the sick, tell them about Jesus, and the stuff that we see, it has definitely impacted mine. I don't care how crazy that sounds, because once you see it, you can't deny it. And it's even more rewarding when you believed it before you saw it, and then when you see it, it's like that. It's amazing. And what a way to start the Christmas season, right? Being a bearer of good news. And so these are all the stories, but it was very personal to me because we do trips also in the US, and my husband has been going to Mexico with my dad for years, but it was my first time in like 12 years where I actually went past just the border markets. Like, I was so grateful to have that opportunity, and I was just so happy to be a part of it. So that was day 4. Day 5, this is Paige Evans, and I absolutely love these little trees where you embroider it. Just a little embellishment like that doesn't take a long time to do, but look how eye-catching it is, And this was just like, I winged this, and I'm so surprised that it actually worked out. Because usually this stuff doesn't work out for me if I don't have exact measurements. These little presents are a little bit from everywhere. This is Paige Evans Simple Stories, and this is from Hobby Lobby that I am trying to use up. It's just one of those embellishments. They're cute though. Not all of it goes with the collections, but little things like the blue and everything. And then this was the last day we spent there, so more and more stories. I love the way this turned out. I just really like it. And so this is the team that went, and I journal about that. I love how this title came out, and these are from Hobby Lobby. I need to get more of these. The glitter doesn't come off, and I like that. This is from Paige Evans, but this is from Simple Stories, see? And then more stories of the day. I also have space in case another photo pops up. So that is kind of how I did it. I did not have this photo. I had these placemats. If you attend a Scrap and Learn retreat, the last 2, they had these placemats that you can use in place of a photo. They do come in handy, so I printed them, and I'm using them for any mini album. There was a size already, maybe like a 3x6, I'm not sure. So when I printed my photo, I already knew the size I had to print. Here we are in the pastor's kitchen. So these people live a completely different life than we do here in the States. Very humbling. But anyway, so yes, made a little pocket to add more of those stories. This is from Hobby Lobby. I made a little banner using the strips from the, the tear strips, there we go, from the 6x8 paper. Then number 7, Sunday morning, we were at the church we were helping pastor in South Texas. So I have this empty space here because I have another photo I want to print. So I just need to print a photo of that person as well. But anyway, I just love these little angels that Paige has in her collections. They're just so adorable. And I love this church. I like how the colors that she used. They're non-traditional colors for traditional like motifs and elements and just these images. But also this is a 4x6 doodle book. And it was a 12x12, and I had to trim it because, again, I couldn't find my 6x8 page protectors. Okay, story number 8 is about my daughter's Christmas concert. I have this washi, obviously for privacy reasons, not to show the kids, but she had her Christmas concert from school, and I wrote about like the outfit that she's wearing, and then all the practicing she did. She had to wake up early, multiple weeks, once a week. Of course, the fa la la la, right? This was a little tricky. I remember doing this for a Paige Evans mini album, just to add more journaling. I added some enamel dots to this Christmas tree because it felt a little flat to me. So just made it pop up just a little bit. And then this is the Christmas program. I added a little bit of bows. So the Christmas program doesn't just look like something I slipped in, but a part of the story. Number 8. I did add more photos in here, but I can't go into them because there's a lot of student names. Added the date here. There was already a date printed, but I just thought this would also bring in the elements of the collection into this. Okay, so story number 9. This is a miniature version of a Scrap and Learn make and take. It's for a 12 by 12 and I made it into a 6 by 8. Then I just added these little tabs so I can hole punch it and not go into the actual design. I did have to not use so many embellishments. She used a ton. Of course, she's trying to fill in a 12 by 12. So it was about friends that I am getting to know really well. My husband already knew him. I love this tearing going on. Love the texture. The big old title. This is not supposed to be there. I think this is supposed to be over here. I had to add in this 9. She had something else, more embellishments, but the 9 kind of took over. They cooked dinner for us. And for me, like my love language is acts of service. So when someone does it for me, it's like everything. I really, really appreciate it. They cooked a delicious dinner, delicious dessert. It just really, really touched my heart. So wrote about that. And then story number 10 did not happen on December 10th. Again, it's just a story that I filled in here, and it was friends to go see some lighting that I always wanted to see. Before my kids were even born, I wanted to see, there's like the really pretty shopping center and they light it all up and there's nutcrackers. I mean, just beautiful. And they have a lighting ceremony and I've always wanted to go, but it's after Thanksgiving, the evening of, and we always have guests over, friends over, and sometimes it goes really long. And so we end up not going. But this time we're like, hey, let's do it. The weather was nice and it kind of fell flat. It was a little underwhelming. And I thought, you know what, next year we're gonna make our own tradition. And then more photos of the night. Absolutely love that photo. My daughter, my hubby. And then they had these little booths of Christmas stories in figurines. It's really cute. My sister just made that little flip up. Actually, this is a 6 by 12, an actual 6 by 12, and I just chopped off the other hole that you would put in a 12 by 12 album, and then I scored over and over again to make sure it would bend easy and stay like that, and it worked. And then here is story number 11. I talk about Gingy. He's an inflatable. And I always told myself that I would never, ever, ever get an inflatable because I thought they were tacky. And there I am at H-E-B buying an inflatable because I just know my girls will love it. And they did. And guess who's the one that's like begging her husband to put it out immediately? Me. Guess who's the one that every time we drive into our driveway is like, hello, Gingy. Me. I love this inflatable. It makes me so happy. We call them Gingy. This gingerbread house I've had for a while and I got at Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure it's for cards, but it just works out real well to fill in this space because this is all I needed for this story. This bow right here I've had for the longest time. It's Amy Tangerine, but the colors go really, really well with this Simple Stories collection. And I'm so glad I'm able to use them. I only have a few left. I don't have it in the original packing because I decided to just put these leftover embellishments together. But there used to be like a whole package of these bows and I've been using them up. I don't use them too much because they are bulky. Make, you know, your albums really, really chunk. But I think for a 6 by 8, it's okay. I think if a 12 by 12, if I was gonna document a whole year, I would be very mindful of the chunk. The thickness of everything. Now, story number 12 doesn't have any journaling, and I can't show it to you because it is about my daughter and her class. But this I got off of Pinterest. This is a scrap lift. They had presents like this. They didn't have a number, but I decided to add this number, just scored it here so it could be like a little door. Some of these presents lift up. I could lift up this one. Some of them are patterned paper. Some of them already are ephemera. and some of them are just plain cardstock. And I did add some glossy accents to make it a little dimensional, I guess. Okay, and then I just love this fuzzy soft yarn. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and it's got like threads of gold in it. So cute. So here is a photo of my daughter. She got Student of the Month, and I did not know because they didn't announce it. I was there at the awards assembly, or I mean that's what they used to call it when I was elementary. Now it's called something different, but I was there and nothing was mentioned that she also got honor roll weeks later with an honor roll award, and I was like, what? Which is a really big deal because she was homeschooled. I was kind of worried about the transition of the method, the learning method. Not that she couldn't do it, but just how it was going to affect her, if it was going to slow her down or anything. And she worked really hard, y'all. Like, I'm really proud of her. So she got Student of the Month and honor roll. Super proud of her. Have to brag about her. This Naughty and Nice is from Paige Evans. This star is not from any of the collection. This is probably just from my stash. Just wanted to add the star because she's a star student. So because it was so busy, I just, a few embellishments and we're good to go. Back that up so it could really pop from this busy background. So to divide the 12 days of Christmas, I just put this vellum divider that I got at Michael's. And I know I got it on their 90 or 80% off, but it's all snowflakes. It's really, really pretty. So this is from Paige Evans, Sugar Plum Wishes. Every month, my husband plans a date with the girls. Wrote about this month's date, which my hubby just spoils them, y'all. She came home with this giant axolotl, and I'm just like, holy moly, where are we gonna put that? Because again, we're very limited in space. We're renting a very, very small house. So this is like covering 1/3 of her bed right now. But she was thrilled, and Daddy is Mr. Claus. And then the date with the youngest there, Chick-fil-A. Okay, so story number 14, some more 3x4s, flip-flops. This was all about the sweets that we were having. I just love this Mrs. Claus puffy. Behind her is some butterscotch. Wrote about his stepmom's apple cider, which is the best. Like, when she makes it, she puts her heart into that. Just really, really look forward to that every year. Then these little arrows, I just made them myself. They're just triangles to tell you that this story is for this one. Because look, I knew I had to get the Simple Stories collection just because of these Debbie Christmas tree cakes, because my daughters were all about them this year. They're so good too, right? I mean, I had a little bite and I'm like, oh my God, I would take this away. That was like the thing that was going around in school. Like, everybody had these Debbie tree cakes in their lunchbox. So my daughter's like, Mama, please can I have these? I'm like, what? And when she showed them to me, I'm like, girl, put them in the cart. This border sticker from Paige Evans. Number 15 is Midtown Lights. Midtown is really posh, but out of all the houses, this one's my favorite. And I think it's because it stands out from all the poshy houses. And it's just loaded. There's no tact in it whatsoever, and it just makes me smile. So I wrote a little bit about that. I use these houses, I think they're from Paige Evans. I wonder if that's from Simple Stories though. And then I added these gems from Hobby Lobby, and then to bring in the gold down here, I added in these little stars that were also a part of the alphas. Yeah, right here. You could use those just for embellishments, And then this is from Hobby Lobby. This is from Crate Paper, the washi, because it was just going to be white, but I needed something there to fill in that space. I think I got this idea from Crystal Undante. Am I saying that right? She had a picture of her kids reacting to the Christmas lights, but I think she took the picture from her rear view mirror, and I just did it like I just stuck out my camera and tried to get a good shot of them. And it is blurry, but it's okay. 5 years from now, I'm going to be glad I had that blurry picture because they're going to look so different. Story number 16 was kind of like a me errand kind of day. I went to go get some coffee, but before that coffee, I went to the dentist and she took really good care of me. I had braces. I have been going to the dentist since I was a kid for years, all the way till I was 18. The care that dentist gave me was the best care, so I wrote about that. As an adult, that really matters because you're paying for it. After that, I treated myself to a latte, and I don't know how many peppermint mochas I have. I just really like my local one because they don't overdo the peppermint. Story number 17, we went to go see the lights, a church called Rhema. They completely deck out their entire grounds with Christmas lights and decorations and stuff. It's really, really neat. My girls love it, but man, there's a ton of people. So we weren't there for too long. And so, yeah, before that though, we went to go get $6 burgers, and I just like this little penguin here. It's really, really cute. Story number 18 is about all like the movies. The two of my daughters, they're new to me, they're not. So I look up movies and I kind of want to, I'm feeling nostalgic. I want to see some movies from the 90s, and The Christmas Star pops up. I show it to my girls. This movie is so odd. The whole time we're watching it, I'm kind of Googling. My husband's like, this is so random. This is so odd. And my girls are invested. They think it's weird too, but they're invested. So we finish it, but the whole time I'm chuckling. Some of these early 90s movies are just, the plot is so weird. Anyway, so I wrote about that. And then a song that my girls were singing on repeat. So printed out the album, and then my girl saw Elf for the first time. I think it's funny. It's not something that I would pick to watch by myself. Like, I like more black and white holiday movies, older movies, or book type of movies. But my girls were curious, and so we saw it, and y'all, I was laughing. They were not laughing. They were like, why is he acting like that? And I'm like, what do you mean? He doesn't, like, he doesn't know, he thinks he's an elf, and he's not an elf. They're like, but he's an adult. Why is he acting like a kid? I was like, because he didn't, like, he's an elf. And they were like, but none of the other elves are acting like him. And I was like, you have a point. They thought it was weird. And so I wrote about that, how I'm, okay. They are so my mother's grandchildren. Okay, number 19 is the start of Christmas break. So I wrote about like what we did. I made some ornament pancakes. I really like this page. I don't know if I have Sugar Plum Wishes 12 by 12. I don't think so. I don't even know if I could find it anymore, but I would totally get this page and hand stitch it. I think the 6 by 8 is too little to be hand stitching. I don't know. I have to look at pages to see if she did. And then I added this to make it a little dimensional because it was a little flat. I do feel like something's missing there. And again, I did debate on whether to stitch this right here, but it's too little to me. I'm going to go and see some of her videos, see if she did it. 2020 is, story number 20 is about the baking day, which I totally forgot that I had already made a 6 by 8 layout. This is from the Scrap and Learn Retreat. Becky's was a double page 12 by 12 layout, and I made it into a 6 by 8. It came out really nice, and I totally forgot about it. So I'm gonna have to use this for next year's album or some year's albums. I know I scrap lifted Megan Andrew. Whenever I scrap lift, it's just real easy. I did change a little bit right here. I did change a little bit of layering, and then I added this big 20, right? This is from Heidi Swap, and this was the last puffy phrase that I had, and so I have finished that whole big old 6 by 12 puffy phrase sheet that I had. Yes, using my stash. This is from Fancy Pants. There's just some baking elements in there that I wanted to add. I put this little shelf because something was missing. Like I wanted to bring these two pieces together, so I needed something here. And then these are some photos. So we're making cookies, but my younger daughter does the easier thing, like dipping the pretzels in chocolate and sprinkling them. They came out good. They're one of my favorites. Then I added some Velcro so that it wouldn't be like this, because it's not the same story. And this is driving to Texas. So we went to Texas twice. So Run, Run, Rudolph, that's part of a song, to Texas. I stamped that to add some of that stamping that I had from the beginning. There's a little Rudolph, I think that's Paige Evans. And then leaving early in the morning, what traveling looks like for 12 hours. I had to cut this down. I don't know why Simple Stories does 4x4. Maybe for mini albums that are not in pocket pages. I trimmed that 4x4 to a 3x4. Story number 2, it's gonna look a little different because we are in South Texas. So it's still green over there. You can still go fishing in the pier like my hubby and my dad are doing. They're at the beach. And first things first, some conchas from Ladas. Oh my Lord. I mean, they've come out in the news, y'all. They're in the newspaper. You haven't lived till you had a hot, fresh concha from Ladas. Oh my Lord. My mouth is watering. Anyway, yeah, put the gem on the outside so the pocket won't bulk out. Is this the same day? I think this is the same day. So met with some friends for some coffee. Really, really good. They do a banana miso. I don't know what makes it miso, but it's delicious. The coffee shop there really takes the flavors from South Texas and puts them into lattes. Really, really good. They also have an agave latte. It's just super yum. Just left it simple. These are from Hobby Lobby. Using my photo corners again there. And then story number 23, we went to go see David. We all got to go, and I just really, really treasure all of us being able to do that. It was nice. So made this into a single page layout, pretty simple, because I really wanted these photos to be where your eyes rested. Then Christmas Eve, which I've always celebrated Christmas Eve, and Christmas morning was just like a chill day. Christmas Eve was the day. We still kind of keep that tradition. We have tamales, charro beans, Mexican rice, all the salsas. I'm cooking it now, except for the tamales. Me and my sister have made them before, but since we don't live there anymore and we travel down, my dad orders. So my daughter right here, she took all these pictures. The one with the selfie, and I'm so glad she did, because Christmas Eve, I'm cooking, I'm like sweating, my phone is not near me. I usually take like one photo, so I'm glad that she grabbed my phone and she took these photos. She's quite the photographer. This picture of her setting, of her sister, the charro beans, which are her favorite, her selfie. That's me. I wasn't even aware that she took this picture. My sister, my parents. She took these pictures, y'all. And grandma. There were more people, but you know, she's only 6. Kind of wanted it to match, so I stayed within these green tones and brought in the florals, so you can know it's just one day. I did have to lift up this photo a bit to put some journaling. Like how it turned out. And then Christmas. My stepmom makes biscuits and gravy. She wakes up super early and just starts getting into the Christmas brunch. So that's why I have this old Pyrex and butter there to show a little bit of what's going on here. And then that's my dad and me and my hubby being silly. And I just write about how they prep. Again, using that little bow, tucked in some floral bits to keep the floral. This is, I just wanted it in a single page. Grandpa, my husband's dad, reading the Christmas story from the book of Luke. just one of my favorites, and that's kind of what like kicks off Christmas Day. I used some of the borders in Paige's sticker book. Brought in the brads here too, so your eye can go like that. And then 25. Now, I don't love the way this turned out, and I've noticed that I usually don't like my last page, which is a bummer because it's Christmas. So this is another thing that I'm going to write to prep the actual Christmas Day. I know I got this from, pretty sure it was Heidi Swap, where she does this little accordion thing. I'm sure others have done it too, which does work out from this view, but then I trimmed them too much and it doesn't work out, because then I have this empty space that I have to fill. So there was a little bit of a learning curve there for me. And then I don't love this green. It's not my favorite shade of green, but it just goes. So I do like this though, how that turned out, and the ornaments, kind of what was in the album is in here too. So that continuous embellishing. And then this is me on my side of the family. If you notice these candies, I'm tucking them in the photos to make them look like scalloped borders, because I don't know, it looks like sushi. It just looks weird to me. I know the type of candy, it's one of my dad's favorites, Christmas candy, but it just looks weird, so I just tuck them in. So I trimmed this, and then in the back is a polka dot, and I'm so glad it is, because it kind of like makes your eyes stop instead of just keeps going. So this is just cards. Not a lot of Christmas cards this year. I didn't hear much of my friends doing Christmas cards either. It seems like people are just like posting up on social media, and I know it is expensive to do. I do get that. And so I just stuck the Christmas cards we did get in this envelope that someone mailed to us. And there you go, my friends. There is my December daily. I actually do like how it all turned out. Very chunky. I hope it will be able to stay in this album. The rings aren't very big, as you can see. So I'm going to be buying some chunkier Vicki Boutin albums. I did make my own last year, and maybe I'll have to do that again to really get the spine width that I want, so I won't have this non-closing problem. But anyways, I'm so happy to have finished this. It is on to Valentine crafting, scrapping. I hope you enjoyed this flip through. If you have stuck with me up until now, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you finished your December daily or if you're still working on it. I will cheer you on if you're still working on it, and I will give you a high five if you finished it. But I'll see y'all in my next video. I think I'm gonna do a Valentine stash, because I actually need to find out what I do have and what I need.